It's Elisa. This letter was written by my mom, Sarah Allgood, on July 11th, 1971. She had just heard my dad's voice, one of those rare phone calls that made it through from Vietnam, and she was still glowing from it. She tells him the only better way to wake up would be his kiss and his touch, and since that wasn't possible, the phone call would do just fine. It's a quiet, grounded letter. She pours herself a glass of their favorite apple juice, and even feels guilty drinking it without him. She watches old movies all day, writes about her too tight Vegas hip huggers, and makes herself some bacon and eggs. And then she gets a call from the neighbors, an invitation to come down for hamburgers, and she pulls herself together and goes. But what really stands out is what happens next. One of her close friends has a serious horseback riding accident, and my mom doesn't hesitate. She spends the night by her side, icing her injuries, helping her move and stay close, because that's who she was. Not just a wife and a mother, but the kind of friend who showed up, no matter what else was going on. She closes the letter the way she always did, full of warmth, playfulness, and affection. She calls my dad her whittle chickie and signs off not just as his wife, but as his lover, his friend, and the mother of his baby. And reading it now, I realize how lucky I was to be that baby, to be raised by a woman who loved so fully and gave so much of herself to the people around her. Here's the letter, exactly as she wrote it, July 11, 1971. Oh, baby, I love you so very much. I can't think of one other way I'd rather be awakened than by a phone call from my lover. The best way would be you kissing me, rubbing my breast, and making sweet, passionate love. If I can't have the latter, I'll take the phone call any day or night, any time of the week. You're my precious darling. Did you know that? Well, you are. After your phone call, I was so happy I couldn't really go back to CP. I got up. Guess what I had to drink? No, it wasn't a beer. A glass of our favorite apple juice. I felt guilty drinking it without my hubby here to share it with me. Later, I had a bowl of cereal and bananas and tuned into the TV. Lately, every Sunday, starting at 10 a.m., they show old movies. So today, from 10 to 5:30, I watched TV. My eyes hurt so badly, I almost had to put my shades on to cut the glare. I wanted to stay in and groove to my letters from yesterday and your phone call. I made some bacon and eggs around 1:30. I was hungry and I didn't want to go out, so I ate alone. Jan called. Buck and the kids wanted me to come down and have hamburgers. So I finally got up, bathed, dressed, and went down there. I wore my jeans I bought in Vegas. You know, my favorite hip huggers. I do believe this will be the last weekend. They're so tight you wouldn't believe it. Anyway, we had hamburgers, beans, a beer, watched Lassie, and more TV. Joy called. She and Jane had been out. Jane had a bad accident. They were horseback riding at Fathom. Joy didn't check the saddle because the horses were already saddled up. Anyway, during a gallop, she felt like the saddle was slipping and stood up in the stirrups, at which point the whole damn saddle slipped off the horse. She landed on her left hip and back. They had to call an ambulance because she couldn't move her left leg. X-ray showed a huge hematoma pressing on the sciatic nerve. The hematoma was so large they couldn't aspirate it, even immediately after it happened. I'm spending the night with her because she has to have continuous ice packs and can't get up and down the stairs. She's really in pain, and the stupid army dude gave her some Emprin. I told her if it wasn't better by tomorrow, she should have one of our guys look at it. They wouldn't bring her to Lackland when the accident happened. She might not be able to finish flight school if she misses Friday. That would be such a shame to have 6 weeks thrown away. I love you. I don't know if I can CP. She's so restless and hurts so badly, plus the darn bed is so soft. Anyway, she'd do it for me. I'll close now and get some CP. I love you, precious little chickie of mine. I'll always be your lover and friend, not to mention your wife and mother of your baby. Yours forever and always, your loving wife, Sarah. This letter feels so full. It feels full of tenderness, humor, exhaustion, and loyalty. It's not a dramatic letter. It's just real. It's my mom in her everyday rhythm, showing up for her people, and loving my dad across every possible distance. She never stopped reminding him how much she loved him, even after a long day, even in a soft bed next to someone in pain, even with everything else going on. And she never stopped showing up for the people around her, as a friend, a caregiver, and a mom. If you're walking through these letters with me, thank you, thank you. Your presence means more than you know. And if you'd like to support the project, you can visit buymeacoffee.com/the Allgoods Love. It's a simple way to keep the story going, and I am so grateful to have you for the ride.